This is Bryson Englund of Sonoma Partners with part 7 in our video series about Microsoft Dynamics CRM for architecture, engineering, and construction firms. So in previous videos, we've looked over the navigation of Dynamics CRM, working with accounts, working with opportunities and projects, also talking about dashboarding and reporting, and then also the Outlook experience. In this video, I want to talk about the Microsoft mobile app. So this app is available across different platforms. You can use it on Android, on iOS, on Windows 8. You can use it on a tablet. You can use it on a phone. And this is an app that's free for you with Microsoft Dynamics 2013. The way this app displays, and I'm looking at a tablet, and I happen to be on a Windows 8 tablet today, is it has a dashboard that scrolls from left over to right. And there's a lot of real estate on a tablet, so on the tablet version you get to see multiple boxes. On the phone you essentially just see one box at a time. So the dashboard, you can configure this to really be whatever you want. Out of the box it just shows things like my activities, opportunities, leads, companies, and then 2 charts. You can of course configure it to display whatever you need. And within here it's very much designed to be touch friendly and mobile enabled. So what I mean by that is instead of having a list of records, you actually have these big colorful buttons. So in activities, for example, if I'm looking at the first activity over here, August 5th, I can see that that is a task because it's a checkbox in the icon. And then below that, near the bottom, there's an overview, and that's for VC Coastal Health. That one I can see as an appointment because there's a calendar icon on there. And if I need to dismiss any of these particular activities, I can just use the checkbox right next to that. So it's very much touch enabled, and even adding a record is very simple. I hit the plus button next to activities, I choose what kind of record I want. In this case, maybe I'll select a phone call, enter the details, save it, and then I'm good to go. In terms of working with this UI, swiping left and right just gets me where I need to go. Scrolling up and down gets me to all of the different records that I want to work with. And then of course I can tap into any of these at any time to see the full record. Other ways to get to records are using the search. So there's a search in the upper right hand corner. And on that search I can search across a variety of entities. So if I want to search for a particular record, Kaiser Permanente's, who we've been working with this entire time, I can see Kaiser Permanente and its subsidiaries. I can see the contacts up against the Kaiser Permanente records. I can see the opportunities, the activities, and even things like projects. So all of that data is available to me, and it's very easy to get to these individual records. And if I look at a record, so I'll open up the Kaiser Permanente record, you're going to note that it actually follows the same sort of layout that we had when we looked at the Kaiser Permanente account record in the browser and in Outlook. So that makes it so that when your users move between a browser or Outlook and they move into the mobile app, they already know kind of what they're getting. They know what's going to be where. And each of those tabs, those chapters I described before, you can scroll up and down to get additional information for. When you want to look at a different tab, a different chapter of the Kaiser Permanente story, you just scroll over to the right to see everything related to that. So you can see things like notes, you can see things like contacts, opportunities, projects. All of those are available to me. All of these are records in their own right. And if you have things like documents associated with this record, you can go ahead and open them up. Now in Windows 8, it has a snap version, which I think is really cool, which means that you can actually see the document on one side and the mobile app from Microsoft for Dynamics CRM on the other. So let's see that snap view in action. And all I need to do is just select that particular file and open it up. And it'll have the PDF on one side, and I can decide how much of the screen I want to have taken up by the PDF. And on the other side, I have the Kaiser Permanente record. So I could actually show a document to this client while I'm on my Windows 8 tablet, walk through the document with them and enter information about their account or the opportunity or whatever record it is over on the left while I'm looking at the document over on the right. And when I'm done, I just dismiss it, just swipe it off, and I'm back to that record. So you'll see that all the related records are here. And something that you'll note is unique here is I have these big colorful tiles on the mobile app that allows me to access other related records as well. And if I wanted to scroll through to see different records, you can see that scrolling shows the different records. So I don't even need to go back to that dashboard to look up new records. I can actually just scroll up and down to see all the records available to me. So it's very easy to navigate through here. Let's take a quick look at an opportunity. So I'm going to go back to our old standard Kaiser Permanente Oakland Clinic. And you'll note on the opportunity, just like we had a form on the browser and Outlook versions that rendered summary, the process flow UI, and related records, we have the exact same form here, just rendered in a very mobile-friendly manner. And that process flow UI, that roadmap to success, that's here on the mobile app with us. So I can walk through that process of qualifying an opportunity or researching an opportunity on my mobile device, just like I did in the browser, just like I can do in Outlook. And I can see all the related records to this. So all of my notes and stakeholders, business development team, competitors, all of that information is going to be here. And if I need to get back to Kaiser Permanente, I can just hit that hyperlink, go back to the account. Very easy to get around. You'll note that the forms also for the contacts are very much enabled for mobile. So here I see a contact card for Alicia underneath relationships where it has her name, her title, who she works for. There's a phone icon, there's an email icon. Those will use your device's native apps in order to process those functions. So for email, it'll use the email app. For phone, it'll ask me, do you want to go out to Skype or Link or whatever I have on my tablet? And when I dial that number, it's actually going to create a phone call record for me in CRM. So I can go ahead and just enter notes here. And one of the things I can do is I can go ahead and put information in via dictation. So that's kind of cool too. So going back to that home screen, I'll go back to that dashboard. You'll note that on the dashboard, I have all of this data, but I also have the charts. So in the charts, I can actually do some data analysis. These aren't just pretty pictures giving me up-to-date information on the state of my business. These are actionable displays of reports. So for example, if I wanted to look at, let's say, the bottom of my pipeline in dark blue, I could select that part and it'll show me the records that are in the bottom part of the funnel. So I'm now looking at just the bottom of the funnel, and if I wanted to maybe say look at not just my open opportunities, but all open opportunities, I can select a different view. So instead of my open opportunities, let's look at all open opportunities, all of the opportunities that are open across my entire company. And instead of looking at the sales pipeline, let's go ahead and take a look at maybe our top customers. So where is our revenue coming from? Who are our top customers? And I can see that Black Hills Power, which is not one of mine, is one of our top customers, but Kaiser Permanente, which is one of my customers, is at least in the top 3. So this data analysis we saw before in the browser and in Outlook, you can also do it here within the mobile experience. Obviously, there are going to be out-of-the-box entities that you're going to want to work with, like contacts or companies, but in addition to that, if you have custom entities like projects, those projects will also display here. So anything that you really need to track on the browser or in Outlook, you'll also be able to track and display here within the Microsoft Dynamics CRM mobile app. The final thing I want to do here is just show you some of the functionality that is specific to Windows 8. So there is an iOS version, there's an Android version, but in Windows 8 you get a couple of things that are kind of interesting. So for example, let's say that I am always working with a particular company. We'll choose VC Coastal Health. If I work with VC Coastal Health a lot, I may want to access that record frequently. And one way of doing that is pinning it to this dashboard. So if I pin it to the dashboard, it's going to go ahead and set that onto the dashboard so I can get to this record anytime. No scrolling, no searching, no nothing. If I go back to the dashboard, you're going to see that in addition to the dashboard before, I now have VC Coastal Health pinned to the dashboard in CRM. Now, if I go to that record and I say, you know what, I don't even want to open up the Microsoft Dynamics CRM mobile app. I want to just be able to get to that from my Windows 8 desktop. I can actually pin that to Start in Windows 8. This will allow me to open the record directly from the Windows 8 Start area. So I'm going to pin it to Start. So it's now pinned. If I go into Windows 8 and I see all of my different tiles, I can scroll over and I can see there's a tile here for VC Coastal Health. So I can right from the start, without even going into the app, I can drill in and I can see that particular record right from here. And if I want to go throughout the rest of the system, I can go back to my home and I can see the dashboard, or I can search. All of those things are available to me. So there's a lot of functionality in the Microsoft Dynamics CRM mobile app coming completely out of the box, completely free for you. You can download it from the App Store if you're on iOS or Android or Windows 8. You can go ahead and connect it to a demo instance if you want to play around with it. But it gives you pretty much all of the functionality you're going to need for Dynamics CRM on a mobile device in a very mobile-friendly, touch-friendly manner. If you have additional questions, feel free to contact us at sonomapartners.com, and thank you again for your time.